Good evening, everyone, and thank you for your patience. We apologize. Taking care of the people's business took a little bit longer today. We want to say welcome, and we'll start with introductions, starting to my right with our clerks.
Good evening. I am Christine Smith, Clerk to the Board. Welcome.
Good evening. I am Arlissa Easton, Deputy Clerk to the Board.
Good evening. I am Mecklenburg County Commissioner Elaine Powell, representing Huntersville, Davidson, Cornelius, and North Charlotte. Welcome.
Good evening. My name is Lee Altman. I am a County Commissioner serving at large, and I also have the privilege of serving as Vice Chair. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mark Jarrell. I've been elected by the people of District 4 and also have the honor of serving as Chairman of the Board.
Good evening and welcome. My name is Arthur Griffin. I happen to serve as a County Commissioner at large.
Good afternoon. My name is Vilma D. Leak, and I represent the most powerful district in the county, and that's District 2. And I thank the people of District 2 for electing me to represent them, and I love it.
Good evening, I'm Laura Meyer, and I represent District 5.
Good evening, I'm Susan Rodriguez McDowell, and I have the honor of being elected by the people of District 6.
Good evening and welcome. My name is Mike Bryan. I'm Mecklenburg County Manager.
Good evening, Tyrone Wade, County Attorney.
All right, with that, I will turn to Commissioner Griffin to lead us in our invocation and also the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Last night, about 11 o'clock, after coming in from Gastonia from a meeting, I got a video text to me that really laid heavy on my heart. And so I jotted some notes down because it really brought me back to a sense of purpose. And I want to share that as a part of my invocation. So if you would join me voluntarily. Heavenly Father, we come to you again with a humble heart, on bending knees. We recognize that leadership is both a privilege and a responsibility. And we ask you, Heavenly Father, for your wisdom as we carry out the work before us. Grant us the clarity of mind, the steadiness of purpose, and the commitment of fairness in every decision we make. Help us to listen with open hearts, to speak with integrity, and to act with courage, especially when the path is difficult. Heavenly Father, remind us each and every moment that behind every policy, every budget line, and every vote are real people and families and children and seniors and neighbors who depend on thoughtful and just leadership. Let our actions reflect a deep respect for their dignity and the genuine desire to improve their quality of life. Guide us, Heavenly Father, to work collaboratively, all 9 of us, all 10 of us, all 6,600 of us, even in a moment of disagreement, and to seek solutions that promote opportunity and the common good. And in all that we do, please, may we pursue not what is easy, but what is right. In thy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Griffin. Every meeting we start out to make sure that people understand what our mission is and what our vision is. These are the guardrails that guide our discussion, guide our decisions. And so we want to make sure that you all are aware of that, including our priorities. So the Mecklenburg County mission is to serve Mecklenburg County residents by helping improve their lives and community. The vision: Mecklenburg County will be a community of pride and choice for people to live, learn, work, and recreate. This board's FY 26-27 budget priorities are as follows: economic development, education, environmental stewardship, health equity and wellness, services for seniors, workforce development, and reducing racial disparities. And with that being said, before I turn it over to the Vice Chair for our awards and recognition portion of tonight's meeting, I do want to recognize a couple of individuals that are joining us today. We do have our colleague, Representative Brandon Lofton, who is joining us. If you'll stand, sir. Thank you for being here. And I just noticed we have two Kappa men. All right. And then we also have former City Councilman Al Austin. Thank you. So I wanted to recognize you both and say thank you for your service to this community. And with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Vice Chair Altman for awards and recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have three tonight. We will start off with Foster Care Awareness Month, and I will invite Denise Steele Campbell, Youth and Family Service Division Director, to come to the podium to receive the proclamation, provide remarks, and turn it over to Commissioner Rodriguez McDowell.
All right, thank you very much. It's an honor to be able to read this proclamation tonight as Denise comes down. Okay. Whereas the family, serving as primary source of love, identity, self-esteem, and support, is the very foundation of our communities and our state. And whereas in Mecklenburg County, there are children and youth in foster care who are provided with a safe, secure, and stable home, along with the compassion and nurturing of a foster family. And whereas all young people in foster care need a meaningful connection to a caring adult who becomes a supportive and lasting presence in their lives. And whereas foster, kinship, and adoptive families who open their home and hearts and support children whose families are in crisis play a vital role in shared parenting, helping children and families heal and reconnect, thereby launching young people into successful adulthood. And whereas the emotional pain and trauma suffered by children who are abused and neglected often troubles them throughout their lives. And whereas dedicated foster families frequently adopt foster children, resulting in a greater need for more foster care families. And whereas there are numerous individuals, public and private organizations who work to increase public awareness of the needs of children in and leaving foster care, as well as the enduring and valuable contribution of foster parents. And the foster care system is only as good as those who choose to be a part of it. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mecklenburg Board of County Commissioners does hereby proclaim May 2026 as Foster Care Awareness Month in Mecklenburg County, and urges all citizens to take the time to celebrate and thank those who work with our children and youth. It is also a time to focus on the foster children who wait in foster homes for permanency adoptive families, as well as those children who are turning 18 and aging out of the foster care system. This 5th day of May, 2026, signed by our chair, Mark Jarrell. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
The motion having been made and properly seconded, all those in favor say aye. Aye. That motion passes. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, Commissioner Chair Jarrell, Commissioners, County Manager Bryant, and County Attorney Wade. I am Denise Steele Campbell, the very proud Division Director of Mecklenburg County Youth and Family Services. It is such an honor to be here this evening to accept this proclamation. This month, we join communities across the nation in recognizing National Foster Care Awareness Month, an opportunity to honor the children, youth, families, caregivers, and professionals who form the heart of our foster care system. Every day, Youth in foster care show remarkable strengths as they navigate challenges most of us could only imagine. Their resilience inspires us, and their well-being motivates our work. We also celebrate the kin caregivers and foster parents, adoptive parents, who open their homes and hearts, providing stability, love, and belonging when it is needed most. Their commitment changes lives. We extend our deepest appreciation to the social workers, support staff, community partners, and advocates who work tirelessly to ensure safety, connection, and hope for every youth in foster care. Your dedication is the foundation of meaningful change. Awareness is the first step, but it is not enough on its own. Foster Care Awareness Month matters because it connects knowledge to action, encouraging individuals and communities to move from understanding the problem to becoming part of the solution. With 406 youth in foster care, just 65 youth and family services foster homes, and a little over 300 foster homes across Mecklenburg County, our children still need safe, loving places to call home. This month and every month that follows serves as a powerful reminder that we all share a responsibility to support them. Let us continue working together, supporting families, strengthening communities, and promoting the belief that every child deserves to thrive in a safe, nurturing, and permanent home. Thank you.
Thank you again, Ms. Steele Campbell. Would you like to come down to receive the proclamation?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service. Hey, you know we're gonna get a picture, so let's go around and come back.
Thank you so much.
You got clerks.
Team's
Bringing
coming
your team down.
Yeah, come on
But
down.
don't forget the clerks.
It is quiet in here today.
It is very quiet tonight.
Hey, hey.
I was going to listen.
This is good.
Do we all need to move?
Are we
Y'all
doing
need
that?
to-
Slow up.
Yeah, there we go.
I get on my tippy toes next.
Control.
Suzette's on the case.
Always.
Like a shrimp.
All right, thank you.
All right, our next proclamation is Older Americans Month, and I will call on Ms. Hawkins, Services for Adults Division Director, to receive the proclamation and provide remarks. But first, I turn to Commissioner Velma D. Leak.
Let me first say thank you for offering me the opportunity to read this proclamation, because I happen to be a senior citizen. Whereas Mecklenburg County, North Carolina, is home to a vibrant, growing population of older adults who have contributed immensely to the strength, diversity, vitality of our community. And whereas Mecklenburg County is dedicated to supporting older adults through programs and services that promote independence, promote safety, promote health, and overall well-being. And whereas Mecklenburg County Child and Family Service, through its Services for Adult Division, provides essential support, including senior nutrition services, transportation assistance, adult protective services, caregiver support, and opportunities for social engagement. And whereas Older Americans Month, established in 1963, is observed each May to recognize the contributions of older Americans, to highlight important issues affecting their health and well-being. And whereas the 2026 theme, Champion Your Health, encourages older adults in Mecklenburg County to take charge of their lives, their health, by staying active, connecting socially, utilizing preventing health services, and making informed lifestyle choices. And whereas Mecklenburg County remains committed to fostering an age-friendly community where older adults can thrive, remain engaged, and live with dignity and purpose. And whereas families, caregivers, community organizations, and local leaders will all play a critical role in supporting older adults in leading healthy, fulfilling lives. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that Mecklenburg Board of County Commissioners hereby recognize May 2026 as Older Americans Month in Mecklenburg County, North Carolina, and urges all residents to honor old adults and support efforts that promote healthy aging. And be it further proclaimed that all citizens are encouraged to embrace the theme, Champion Your Health, by participating in activities, programs, initiatives that enhance the well-being of older adults throughout Mecklenburg County. Date 5, day of May 2026. And it is signed by our chairperson, Mr. Mark Jarrell, chairperson of the Board of County Commissioners. He has yet to reach old age, but if he keeps living, he'll get there. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Leek. Ms. Hawkins, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, Chairman Jarrell, members of the Board of County Commissioners, County Attorney Wade, and County Manager Bryant. I am Tamisha Hawkins, the Division Director for Services for Adults, and I'm honored to stand before you. Every day, our team has the privilege of working alongside older adults, caregivers, and community partners to support independence, safety, and overall well-being through programs such as senior nutrition, transportation, community social work, in-home aid, adult daycare, adult protective services. We see firsthand how access, connection, and compassion can transform lives. We are reminded daily of the strength, resilience, and wisdom that older adults bring to our community. Older Americans Month is not only a time to celebrate those contributions, it is also a moment to reflect on how we continue building a community where people can age with dignity, purpose, and support. This year's theme, Champion Your Health, reminds us that healthy aging is about far more than health care. It's about staying active, staying connected, and feeling empowered to make informed choices. And it highlights the shared responsibility we all hold as families, neighbors, organizations, and local leaders to create conditions where older adults can thrive. We are grateful for the board's leadership and for investments that strengthen Mecklenburg County's commitment to being an age-friendly community. Our team remains dedicated to ensuring that every adult has the opportunity to live well and with dignity. To the older adults in our community, we thank you. Your experiences, your perseverance, and your contributions continue to shape who we are. And to our caregivers and partners, Thank you for the compassion and commitment you bring to this work every single day. We look forward to continuing this important work together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hawkins. The motion having been made and properly seconded, all those in favor say aye. 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 And that is unanimous. Would you like to come down and receive the proclamation?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's clap this time before.
Strong senior citizen.
Congratulations, thank you.
You're going to take a picture too, so.
Get our clerks.
Clerks.
No, she doesn't.
Thank you.
All right, and that brings us to our final proclamation, which is honoring our clerks to the Board of County Commissioner Week 2026. And I turn to our chairman to take it from here.
Well, thank you, Madam Vice Chair. This is a special proclamation for the board where we get to recognize and honor our clerks, and they are all here, which is awesome. And we're gonna, please stand. Stand to be recognized. Thank you. So for you, well, we're gonna get to them. For those of you that don't know, the clerk's office, they keep us together. This is some of the most professional individuals within this enterprise. Your professionalism doesn't go unnoticed. Your attention to detail, your commitment to the organization and to the board. I can speak on behalf of everyone how much we appreciate you. You all work behind the scenes. You're never trying to be in the spotlight, and you just keep us going. As Reggie Jackson said, you're the straw that stirs the drink, so thank you. With that being said, like I said, it's an honor to read this proclamation, and it reads as follows. Whereas the clerk to the Board of County Commissioners plays a vital role in fostering an informed and engaged community by ensuring clear, accurate, and transparent communication among citizens, elected officials, and administrative departments. And whereas the position of the clerk, one of the oldest roles in local government, continues to be essential as the official record keepers and custodian of public records of their counties, preserving the history, actions, and decisions of county governance. And whereas, pursuant to North Carolina General Statute, each Board of County Commissioners is required to appoint or designate a clerk to perform duties that may be required by law or the Board of Commissioners, including but not limited to the preparation, filing, and protection of local government records, which are vital for accountability and transparency. And whereas, as local government operations grow increasingly complex, the clerk serves as a trusted, impartial, and professional provider of information, ensuring that citizens, government officials, and the media have access to accurate and timely records. And whereas clerks continually advance their expertise through active participation in the North Carolina Association of County Clerks to boards of commissioners, which in partnership with the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill School of Government and the International Institute of Municipal Clerks provides nationally recognized certification programs and ongoing professional development and educational opportunities. And whereas through their commitment to excellence and lifelong learning, clerks enhance the effectiveness of their offices, strengthen public trust, and bring distinction and pride to the counties they serve. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Mecklenburg Board of County Commissioners that May 3rd through May 9th, 2026 is recognized as Clerks to the Boards of County Commissioners Week in Mecklenburg County and extends its appreciation to Clerk to the Board Christine Smith and Deputy Clerk to the Board Arlissa Eason, their assistant clerks, and to all county clerks and deputy clerks for the invaluable service, professionalism, and unwavering dedication to the citizens and county they proudly serve. Adopted the 5th day of May 2026, signed Mark D. Jarrell, Chair, Mecklenburg Board of County Commissioners. So moved.
Second.
Third.
All right. Would you like to be heard? Would you like to speak from the dais, or?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So, thank you, Chair Durrell, Vice Chair Altman, and Commissioners for recognizing Clerks Week. It truly means a great deal to our office as well as all the clerks in North Carolina and throughout the country. First and foremost, I give thanks to God for the ability and opportunity to serve in this role. I also thank County Manager Bryant, my unintentional mentor Tyrone Wade, and the executive team and colleagues for their partnership and support. But believe it or not, I don't do it alone. I want to recognize my deputy clerk, Arlissa Eason, and our assistant clerks. If you guys want to stand up. Madison Little, Barb Felder, Brianna Benedict, and Karen Lewis for their dedication, teamwork, and commitment to public service. I am proud of the work we do. You are a board that truly cares and is dedicated to improving the lives of our residents. I am honored to serve this board in our community. Again, thank you for your support and all you do for Mecklenburg County and beyond.
Awesome. All right, all those in favor, raise your right hand. That is unanimous, and let's take some pictures.
Right.
Woo.
Yes. I noticed you didn't put the clock on yourself.
I wish I had the thing.
And yet she stayed within time.
She did say within the time, that's right. Thank you, guys. Yes.
Congratulations.
Superstars.
Congratulations.
Take off your badge.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
To be seen.
Shake hands, shake hands. Shake
Why don't
hands.
you-
Right, come on, it's just once a year.
We don't get to see you every day, right? Thanks, Brady.
Can I get a t-shirt?
You always look great. Thank you. Doing it all wrong. Thank you so much.
I hope you feel appreciated
So much.
I said, I hope you feel appreciated every day.
Oh, yeah,
All
you get
right,
to keep
take
it.
appreciate
I
it.
was gonna keep it.
Okay.
Come on, Mark, we have to do something.
Do we, is this a happy one?
We have to do a happy one. Oh, we're all serious?
We'll do the first one
serious?
Serious, all right.
Let's do the serious one first. That looks good. All right. Now just do it.
Now we do the.
Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. I guess we're having too much fun tonight.
Yep.
Let's go before we go with the next item on the agenda, there are a few items that we need to take care of that we took up in closed session. First, the chair will entertain a motion to authorize the county manager to negotiate and execute all documents necessary for the acquisition of tax parcel 223-052-01 and 223-052-03, plus or minus 8.491 acres, including a possible access easement in favor of sellers if deemed necessary from Greater Life Baptist Church and Independent Bible Baptist Church for a purchase price of $6,750,345 for solid waste and park and recreation purposes.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, Madam Clerk. Chair will entertain a motion to authorize the county manager to negotiate and execute all documents necessary for the acquisition of tax parcel 053-221-17 plus or minus 2.290 acres from Sandra Bask and spouse Solomon Bask for a purchase price $153,000 for expansion of Thayer Road Park.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous, Madam Clerk. Next, Chair will entertain a motion to authorize the county manager to negotiate and execute all documents necessary for the acquisition of tax parcel 069-094-52 plus or minus .149 acres from Tracy Rochelle Smith and spouse Jerry Clark Jr. for a purchase price $12,500 for park and recreation purposes.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous, Madam Clerk. Final item, Chair will entertain a motion to authorize the county manager to negotiate and execute all documents necessary for the acquisition of tax parcel 019-191-99 plus or minus .548 acres from the heirs of John L. Carpenter Sr. and C.S. Austin for the purchase price of $6,500 for expansion of the David B. Waymer Aeromodeller Park in South Prong Clark Creek Greenway.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous, Madam Clerk. All right, moving forward with the agenda, we are now to public appearance portion. Got to read a lengthy statement. Public appearance is the period during the board's regular meeting that members of the public are provided the opportunity to speak on matters not appearing on the agenda. Members of the public who appear during the public appearance portion of a regular meeting may discuss any matter within the jurisdiction of the Board of Commissioners except for the following types of matters: a matter which appears on the agenda of that meeting of the board, a matter which concerns the candidacy of any person for public office, including the candidacy of the person appearing before the board, a request that the board considers funding a certain program or activity, either from the current budget or by inclusion in a future budget. Such requests would be made at the board's annual budget public hearing. The time limit for speaking is 3 minutes, unless there are 4 more speakers who wish to speak concerning the same matter, in which case all persons wishing to speak on the same matter will be considered a group and given a total of 10 minutes. The board reserves the right to alter these rules on a case-by-case basis as necessary for the efficient and effective conduct of business. Members of the board will not engage in dialogue with public appearance speakers. Comments will be received and followed up on as applicable by county staff and/or members of the board. Handouts and/or tokens shall be given to the clerk for distribution to the board at the conclusion of the meeting. Members of the public can also access and view the meeting on the government channel or online at watch.MeckNC.gov. So far, we have one speaker, and that is Rebecca Peacock. And welcome, Rebecca. And when you get situated, you will have 3 minutes.
Good evening. I want to start by saying that mobile crisis is not an extra service. It's not a luxury. It's a healthcare and public safety necessity. Every day, 24 hours a day, our team responds to people in a mental health crisis across Mecklenburg County, helping to prevent unnecessary hospitalizations, incarceration, and tragedies before they happen. Yet, many of you may not even be aware of our services. I'm Rebecca Peacock, and I'm the Director of Sante Crisis Response serving Mecklenburg County. Mental health touches all of us in one way or another, but it doesn't often become truly personal until we or someone we love comes face to face with a mental health crisis. And it's in those moments that the gaps and the flaws of the system become very clear. First, I want to thank each of you for your service to the residents of this county. I've had the privilege of meeting with several of you over the past few months and hearing just how personal mental health is to many of you. Thank you for your time and really your willingness to engage in difficult conversations. Since the 1940s, May has been recognized as Mental Health Awareness Month, shown by a green ribbon. This May also marks Sante's 20-year anniversary. 20 years that we have been showing up and doing this critical work. But our current funding model has made this work increasingly unsustainable. So I want to just take a quick moment to highlight the role that Sante plays in the community. Every county in the state of North Carolina is required to have a mobile crisis team through their managed Medicaid entity, and our provider is Alliance. And so we've been the sole provider providing these services across the county. So when someone's in a crisis, our team responds directly into the community, whether that's home, school, parking lot, wherever people need that support. We work with individuals experiencing depression, anxiety, suicidal or homicidal thoughts, psychosis, as well as other situational crises. Last fiscal year alone, we received over 9,000 incoming hotline calls, serving children, adults, seniors, veterans, the residents that live in this county. A significant number of those individuals were able to remain safely in the community. We also work closely with first responders, oftentimes describing ourselves as the fourth response, mental health, alongside police, fire, and medic. We partner with CMS and other providers. Our work reduces strain on emergency departments, law enforcement, and the involuntary commitment system, while also reducing taxpayer costs by providing intervention before hospitalization or incarceration becomes the only option. Mobile crisis has been quietly working for 20 years, but quiet work is often overlooked. This service deserves visibility, support, and sustainability so that we can continue showing up. If anyone ever had any questions about the service, I would be grateful for that conversation. Thank you for your time, and thank you for all that you do for Mecklenburg County.
Thank you. Are there any other speakers, Madam Clerk?
No, sir.
Okay. With that being said, we're going to move on to appointments. A nomination or appointment is needed on the Air Quality Commission to fill one unexpired term expiring August 31st, 2028. It is the general public slot.
I move to appoint Jessica Finkel.
Commissioner Rodriguez-McDowell.
I want to move sort of move to nominate and appoint Jessica Finkel
yeah.
because we don't have any other females other than one. And I think it would be awesome I just wanted to support her as a female candidate.
Okay, so you're
I'm moving that we nominate and appoint.
Okay, so now we've got a second right there. Mr. Attorney, just for clarification, because do I have to vote this down? So we can't take any other nominations until we vote this motion, correct?
Right.
Okay. So, all right, is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of nominating and appointing Jessica Finkel, let's see by show of hands. All right, that is unanimous, Madam Clerk, and so Jessica Finkel is appointed. All right, next up is the Waste Management Advisory Board. Nomination is needed to approve the term extension request for Jeremy O'Brien on the Waste Management Advisory Board for a one-year term expiring April 30th, 2027. Solid Waste Director Jeff Smithberger requests that Mr. O'Brien be allowed to continue on the Waste Management Advisory Board and serve as the chair for at least an additional year. Is there a motion to approve the term extension?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Powell.
So I
Moved and seconded, excuse me.
Yeah.
Commissioner Powell.
So I just want to speak to this because I've known him at least 20 years, and he's always been involved in waste management in some capacity. We're very lucky that someone is willing, with his background, to do this. He's an engineer, wholly committed to really doing a good job, and the longevity of it is amazing. So I'm thankful that he's willing to do this in leadership for an extra year. So I'm all on board.
All right. No other comments? Hearing none. All those in favor, let's see by show of hands. That is unanimous, Madam Clerk. Thank you. We're going to move to our public hearing. A motion is needed to open a TEFRA public hearing and receive comments on proposed financing by Greenway Waste Solutions, LLC.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Are there any speakers, Madam Clerk?
No, sir.
All right, there are no speakers, but you've all been made aware that Commissioner Powell will have the opportunity to speak to this.
Good, because I want my comments, my oral comments and my written, to be recorded as part of the hearing. So this came before us to the Pollution Control Authority Board in January. And I wanted to give the board a little bit of background on it. And I know you know Commissioner Rodriguez-McDowell. But this came to us, and it was kind of surprising because it's for an expansion of a landfill, almost about 220 acres in Huntersville. And so I went to the meeting, very curious to learn how this is possible. And so I want to read it to you because it's possible through the General Assembly. And I'm just going to read a little tiny part of it so that you understand my perspective. So the General Assembly finds and determines that the development and expansion of industry within the state and the generation of electric power and the supply of other services by public utilities, which are essential to the economic growth of the state and prosperity of its people, are accompanied by an increased production and discharge of gaseous, liquid, and solid pollution and wastes, which threaten and endanger the health, welfare, and safety of the inhabitants of the state by polluting air, land, and waters of the state. In order to reduce, control, and prevent such environmental pollution, it is imperative that action be taken at various levels of government to require the provision of devices, equipment, and facilities for the collection, reduction, treatment, and disposal of such pollution and waste. So this, I wasn't there when they crafted this, but when I'm reading it, there is definitely a need in Mecklenburg County for this infrastructure. There's a need for it. And if industry doesn't have a benefit to add measures to make it more environmentally friendly, they're going to focus on profitability versus environmental stewardship. This makes it possible for them to have the interest-free loan so that they can dedicate funding to going above and beyond. That is my expectation. My expectation is that when this is done, it's not just going to be bare minimum, it's going to be above and beyond. And so I have reviewed every document I could get my hands on. I've talked to community members. I've talked to the town of Huntersville. I've gone with Commissioner Rodriguez-McDowell to tour the landfill, to tour what would be the expanded area, to look at where the stream would be diverted and changed, rerouted really. I've done everything that I can think of to go above and beyond what the minimum requirements are, because this benefit that they're seeking, in my mind, all the extra should go to environmental stewardship. So I've heard from the community. I've asked all the questions they had. I've gotten answers to everything, and I've asked for extra commitments. And so through all of the dialogue, I've got really good dialogue with the director of landfills and with the Griffin family, Mr. Griffin. So these are some of my asks, and they have made commitments. So Greenway Waste Solutions will formally commit to join and become a steward member of the North Carolina DEQ Environmental Stewardship Initiative this year in 2026. Greenway Waste Solutions will formally commit to replanting with native trees and plants, and will reach out to Chris Matthews, Director of Mecklenburg County Natural Resources, for guidance on that. Greenway Waste Solutions has committed, and I want to read what I asked because they've committed to platting it. So this is what I asked. It is my understanding that while the proposed swim buffer for the expansion is wider than the current stream, it only meets the minimum requirement required by the town of Huntersville for the stream relocation. We have had conversations about bigger, better buffers as they are an important added benefit for water quality. I am asking for a commitment that the native tree plantings be platted as permanent tree save or as an expanded swim buffer. The plat will provide another level of protection for environmental stewardship. Greenway Waste Solutions has committed to the platting, and so I have all of that written commitment. And written matters because people can say all kinds of things, but you want to make sure that there's like a written commitment, and they've done that, and I really appreciate it. And I just want to take a moment to say, like, this is really important work. It will affect, I mean, it affects public health, that's really the bulk of it. It affects communities. It's good that it's a family business, I think, because the family is part of Mecklenburg County. I think they're going to take pride in how it's done. I think that the director of landfills takes pride in how the work is done. He's a hydrogeologist. The commitments they've made make me feel so much better about this. You know, like Commissioner Rodriguez-McDowell was there. I was like, don't you want to be on the cover of CNN because you have the best landfill ever? You know, like, because we have to have landfills. We can't send it to Mars. And so this is better than the minimum. Like, they are committing to doing better than the minimum, and it's the best I can think of to ask for. Things will change as time goes on. Like, it'll be totally different in 30 years. But they've committed to being part of the Environmental Stewardship Initiative for the state. And that means a lot, because as things change, advice will change. And so I'm just really thankful that they've been so willing to commit to these things. And the other thing I want to say is that I told Commissioner Altman, Rusty Roselle was involved in, you know, talking about redirecting the stream. And I've talked to so many people and spent so much time on this. But I even showed it to Catawba Riverkeeper, went over it with them. And I have the original emails of what Rusty wrote. And so I carry him. Like, not only do I care so deeply for my constituents, and especially in Pottstown, not only do I care so deeply for them, but I carry how important the bigger, better buffers are, and how doing it right matters, and how water quality matters. And you know I care about how we manage waste. So stop throwing cans in the trash. But anyway, I say all of that to say I have done my due diligence as the county commissioner for District 1 in Huntersville. I can't think of anything else to add. And so they've agreed to everything that I've asked for. And so that is, you know, I will vote yes for this because of that, because they're going to go above and beyond, and that is my expectation. If they were just doing bare minimum, I would not support it. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Rodriguez-McDowell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to co-sign onto Commissioner Powell's statement and just say that I've never seen someone work so hard to make something better. And she didn't want them to just get the gold standard plan. She wanted them to go for a platinum plan or even a titanium plan. And so she pushed really, really hard. And I just am so proud to be your colleague as we went through this together. I saw every email and heard about every conversation. And I just wanted to say thank you to Mr. Griffin and to his team, and especially a huge thank you to you for standing up for the people. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Thank you both for your comments. And with that, motion is needed to close the public hearing.
And approve.
Well, I was going to take it separately,
separate, okay.
just in case, Mr. Attorney. Let me just get a motion to close the public hearing, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, public hearing is closed. Now, motion is needed to approve a resolution approving the issuance of revenue bonds in the amount not to exceed $20 million to provide financing for the special purpose of expanding, renovating, and improving of its existing solid waste disposal facility located at 15300 Holbrooks Road, Huntersville, North Carolina.
So moved.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Moved and seconded. All those in favor, let's see by show of hands. It is unanimous, Madam Clerk. All right, thank you. All right, with that, we will move to the manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have 3 items on my manager's report tonight. And before I introduce the very first item, I want to publicly provide you a staffing update. I am pleased to announce the addition of a new leadership role to the team that will be filled by a familiar face that has earned this opportunity by demonstrating his value to the organization and this community, well beyond his current role. And to be honest, since you appointed me manager nearly a year ago, I have utilized this individual in some capacity associated with this new role. County Commissioners, allow me to reintroduce you to Mr. Sean Carter, Assistant County Manager. As Assistant County Manager, Sean will lead in 3 critical areas for the county. He will provide strategic leadership for our internal and external engagement ecosystem, enterprise leadership for the Office of Equity and Inclusion, and oversight of strategic initiatives and special projects. As background, Sean brings 26 years of public service experience, having worked in education, nonprofit, higher ed, and of course, local government. He spent the past 15 years in senior leadership roles in county government, including as the Chief DEI Officer in Franklin County, Ohio. He has already proven to be a valuable leader in the county's work. His skills, his talents as part of the manager's cabinet have already served the county extremely well, and I am so confident they will continue to do so now in his new role as Assistant County Manager. Sean is with us tonight. He is joined by his beautiful family, his wife, and his 2 kids. And board, pending any comments you may have, I would like for Sean Carter to address you. Turn it back over to you, Mr. Chair, first.
Thank you. Let's. I know everybody does want to have a comment, right? But let's hear from Sean first, and then board members can comment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Manager. I'm humble and grateful. And I'd like to thank the county manager and the executive team for trusting me with bringing the manager's vision to life, and to the board for your ongoing support. And especially to my team, Ebony Lewis, who's here, and Amanda Joyner, our work doesn't happen without them. Stepping into this role is both a privilege and a call to continue the kind of work that has defined my career, working hard to find ways to better serve people and communities. I'm proud to support the county manager's vision and to help foster a culture grounded in trust, accountability, and strong connection to the community. Public service has been my life's work, and I'm energized by the opportunity to continue that work at a deeper level of impact. As the other Sean Carter said, I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of not trying. A reminder that progress requires courage, commitment, and a willingness to step forward in service of something greater than yourself. I'm deeply grateful to my colleagues who have shown nothing but support as we step into this next chapter. Your partnership means more than I can say. I also want to thank the team whose commitment and excellence make this work possible every day. I'm excited and hopeful for what's ahead. I look forward to getting started. But lastly, none of this would be possible without the love and support of my family and my beautiful wife and children, for which I'm truly grateful. And until the next chapter begins, we'll continue doing the good work. Thank you.
Thank you. Before you step down, there's a couple things we're going to do. The first thing, I am going to open up to board members. I'm going to ask you all, please be mindful of the time, okay? We're going to give 60 seconds. You know how we all feel about you. I'm going to start with Commissioner Leek, then Meyer, then Rodriguez McDowell.
I don't know how to cut it short, other than I'm grateful that you're here and that our manager saw your worth and your contributions to this community, and especially with your family here with you tonight. You know, you and I have been dialoguing back and forth, but we're so proud of you, son.
Thank you.
And your beautiful family, your wife and 2 children. Will they stand up, please? I know you're proud of your husband. And always a gentleman, always a gentleman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Meyer.
Thank you. Congratulations. You deserve it. I've been working with you since the beginning on the ad hoc committee, the equity investments, and I've been impressed with you ever since. And I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for your family. It's nice to meet you from afar. And thank you for your work for this community. It has made a huge difference.
Thank you. Thank you.
Commissioner Rodriguez-McDowell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sean, I just have to say that you instill a deep sense of trust. Like, I just have a huge trust in you, and I've learned so much from you, and I know that I'm only going to learn more. And I just want to say congratulations, and I think that the sky's the limit for you, and your potential is immense. So thank you for what you contribute to us. You bring a lot.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Commissioner Griffin.
Sean, as you know, you and I have this saga of Where's Waldo called Gapped. I am absolutely I can't think of anyone better to support the manager around equity. All of the right things he named, okay, is right in my ballpark, okay? And you're the right person for the job at the right time. So congratulations to you, and congratulations to your wonderful family.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Altman.
I add my voice. Congratulations. I'm so thrilled for you and your family, especially your two children. Is it not very cool to see your dad honored this way? And to hear the whole room say what you know, which is that he's a very, very special person, helping to heal the world in so many ways. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Powell.
Congratulations. I think a lot of people walk around the world feeling defective somehow. And you have a way of making every person feel valued. And so when Commissioner Rodriguez-McDowell said she has a lot of trust in you, you also, like, it's like this warm, fuzzy feeling that's hard to describe. But I was in a meeting with the county manager in the past 2 weeks, and I was talking about you, and I said, the magic of Sean. And so it's like hard to give words to, but I'm really glad you're going to be in leadership. What a great decision on the county manager's behalf, and I just have full confidence you're going to do great work, and, well, everyone feels valued around you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sean, I echo what everyone has already said. I will tell you, I am just ecstatic about the decision that the manager's made. You have earned it. I think what you represent for Mecklenburg County, even beyond what your role has been and the way you've impacted this board and impacted the community, is immeasurable. I walk away from every conversation better for having talked to you, whether it's an expansion of a thought, the way that I view the world, and even the way that I view myself. And so I thank you for that, my brother.
Thank you.
And I am just so ecstatic for your family. And what I'm going to ask is everybody come down so that we can memorialize this moment with the board and your family. And I remember telling your daughter at the parade that her daddy was a superstar. And proved me right. So thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Manager, I don't know, you go out, I think you go out front.
So glad you're here. Glad you're here. Hey, give me a clap. Hey there.
Remember when I told you your daddy was a superstar?
Congratulations. I love your dress. Congratulations.
Remember I told your husband was a superstar? Oh, she was saying that?
Hey, brother, appreciate it. Okay, you got all the right air.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, he did. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations.
You guys come back over.
She said you're a unicorn.
The manager's gonna come up front.
I'm gonna let them take one first.
Oh, okay, and then you come up. Are we centered?
Y'all can just scoot over about 2 feet this way. There you go.
There you go.
I think I can see everybody there. Okay, let's take one more. All right. Try to get everybody's face. everybody. Can we get a nice smile? Big smile. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. All right.
The boss said smile.
Right. What a nice moment. Beautiful.
Love it. You gotta love it.
Congratulations again, Sean, and congratulations to the entire Carter family. Next, I have two presentations that will focus on housing. These areas get at the heart of why we exist as an organization. We exist to improve the quality of lives of the residents of Mecklenburg County. Every day, our employees show up to do their part of creating a better Charlotte-Mecklenburg community. I think you will see that the program and goals that we are sharing with you tonight attempts to move the needle in the county's effort at being present and positively contributing to the lives of our employees and Mecklenburg County residents as a whole. While different in individual programs, they each weave together as a promise that we've each made to show up every day to make the lives of Mecklenburg County residents better by tackling those challenges that they've identified as top obstacles to them realizing their full potential. The lack of stable housing is one of those greatest obstacles. Our first presentation on my manager's report will be given by Jacqueline McNeil, Real Estate Management Director in AFM. This is an exciting opportunity and point towards a new collaborative approach to fulfilling needs of Mecklenburg County and Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools. And I want to publicly thank Superintendent Dr. Hill for her partnership. This agreement could not have been reached without the mutual interest that Dr. Hill and I share regarding housing in this community. As you know, the county approved the purchase of the former Smith School. Jacqueline McNeil will discuss the process of how we move from idea to realization. Mr. Chair, I'm going to ask that you recognize Ms. McNeil at this time.
Jacqueline, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, and County Manager Bryant. As the manager mentioned, tonight we are bringing forth information to share with you regarding the purchase of land the county is making from Charlotte-Mecklenburg Board of Education, along with the county's high-level plans to redevelop that property into a community asset that will serve those who are in the business of serving the public. Included in tonight's briefing, I will share with you a description of the site, information on the housing submarket and the subject property's location, the county's vision for this site, and our next steps towards fulfilling this exciting plan. At the April 7th meeting, the board agreed to purchase the former Smith School site from CMS for a purchase price of $4.5 million. Then at the Board of Education's April 28th meeting, the school board approved the sale of the property to the county. With those two important votes, the county and CMS jointly agreed to pursue a path that will have a lasting impact on employees of both organizations and the Charlotte-Mecklenburg community alike by providing much-needed targeted housing at employees of both organizations. As you likely know, the former Smith School site is on the south side of Tyvola Road, east of I-77, and in the Tyvola Road and South Park real estate submarket. Situated east-west travel along Tyvola Road and north-south travel along arteries such as I-77, South Boulevard, and Park Road, the site is ideally located. Before you is a map of the former Smith School and the current Collinswood Language Magnet School. The set of buildings in the upper left-hand corner and shaded in purple is the former Smith School site. The Collinswood Language Academy, a dual English and Spanish K-8 magnet school, is the newer set of buildings in the lower right-hand corner on the map. The former Smith School consists of 7 buildings that were constructed by the school district between the early 1960s and 2000. The buildings ceased to be used by CMS roughly 20 years ago and served as offices for the Smith Family Center for several years. Following that use, the buildings were vacated. The county intends to acquire the property in roughly the same configuration as shown here today, and we estimate that the area in purple is 8.2 acres of the existing 26-acre site. A significant and ongoing challenge for CMS has been the condition of the vacant building. Under the agreement between the county and CMS, the county will provide funding of up to $2.5 million for CMS to immediately move forward with procuring a contractor to abate and demolish the existing Smith building. The area surrounding the subject property offers a wealth of community assets. The county has significant land holdings in the area. The chart to the right lists some of the county's public investments in the area. This includes regional and neighborhood parks, a greenway along Little Sugar Creek, and the Harry L. Jones Sr. Golf Course. This community offers residents their pick of shopping options, from South Park Mall to more local selections and shops along the South Boulevard corridor. The community enjoys strong transportation linkages as well. It is roughly a mile from I-77, with other transportation arteries such as Tyvola Road, Old Pineville Road, South Boulevard, and Park Road in close proximity. This gives important east-west and north-south travel options for residents in the area. The site also enjoys access to other forms of transportation, such as CATS bus routes and nearby Lynx transit line. We know that housing costs in the Charlotte area have increased, and this area is no exception. Multiple points of data, including a recent appraisal, put the average rent in this particular sub-market at nearly $1,900 a month. The chart in the upper right-hand corner shows the upward trend in housing costs over the past 10 years. The 2 examples of rent shown in the lower left-hand corner drives home this need. These are examples of asking prices of nearly $3,000 per month at 2 locations in this sub-market. The county and CMS have both been called to action to address the ability of our employees and residents to continue to call Charlotte and the towns in the county home. Redeveloping the former Smith School site represents but one of the very important measures that the county is taking towards this goal. There is much work to be done by the county to make housing at the Smith site a realization, but the steps that we've taken thus far, we have a shared framework that would guide the work that is to be done on behalf of our employees and community. So what is the county's vision for the site? We have 3 main goals in sight. This is a community that future residents can be proud of and that improves their personal quality of life and contributes to the well-being of the surrounding community. Our commitment as an organization is to do our part to position those who serve to rest their heads where they serve. Finally, we want to encourage economic mobility for employees and residents alike, with this future community being a positive force for the adjacent school and nearby neighborhoods. While there is much work to be done before we realize the goals of this project, and targets are subject to shift as greater understanding of the site is gained. This is our preliminary program at this point. We comfortably believe that we can get anywhere from 100 to 300 multifamily units on this site. We are committing to 20% of those units being targeted to CMS teachers. The balance of the units will be targeted to county employees. As with any healthy community, we would like to see a mix of units, sizes, bedrooms, and tenants with a mix of income ranges. Additionally, the county is committed to a development that integrates with its neighbor, the school, and is sensitively designed from its site layout to the building materials and methods. So what are our next steps? As mentioned earlier in this presentation, CMS will demolish the building before it is subdivided from the parent parcel. Following demolition and the parcel being subdivided, ownership of the land will then be transferred to the county. Meanwhile, county staff will develop a process to procure a development team. Some precursors to ultimately releasing a request for proposals to develop and manage the property will be for the county to do some engagement activity with our employees around the project and put more meat on the bones of this project, such as with elements of a proposed timeline and other things that will need to be blessed by the county manager. Once the county has completed the development team selection process, we will negotiate a development agreement with the selected team to design, construct, and manage the development. Mr. Chairman, that concludes my remarks, and I will take any questions you or other members of the board may have.
All right, thank you, Jacqueline. I appreciate that. Questions? All right, we know 2 board members have questions so far. I'm going to start with Commissioner Meyer.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the presentation. I first want to recognize our manager, staff. Thank you, Jacqueline, for thinking outside the box and finding solutions to such a big problem. And to the community at large, I know this is not going to solve the affordable housing crisis, but it's just one little step to what we can do, and to open this up to teachers and to county employees. I think that is just so forward thinking, and I'm very excited for our community for this, and this is just going to be wonderful for Mecklenburg County. And to all the parents who've written all of us, and to neighborhood residents who have written to all of us, I have listened to them. I hear them. I too wanted a park, but I think this is an incredible plan, and I'm excited to see it happen. Really, my only question, and I know the concern of parents whose children go to the school next to it, there's asbestos there in the building. When will the demolition happen? Will it happen this summer before the kids go back to school?
So CMS is in charge of that process. My understanding is that they have already released an RFP to get bids to start that process. I think that once they have a contractor on board, that they will be able to give a more definitive timeline. But they are anxious to have the building down as soon as possible. And once we have a definitive timeline, we can tell the board what that will be.
And another question, and you may not know this because I know there's no design, but it's very close. The property is very close to the school. Will there be a decent buffer between the properties that are being built and the actual
We'll take all that
property?
into consideration.
Okay. All right. That's it. Thank you. Thank you for everything.
Commissioner Rodriguez-McDowell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Jacqueline, for the presentation. I want to say, first of all, that I'm not generally inclined to support this kind of project because, in my view, this is like a Band-Aid, and it's just a real drop in the bucket. And I'm going to support it because I think it is innovative, and it's, to try something new. But in my view, we should be, paying teachers and county workers, salaries that they can live on in our community. And so I think it's kind of like a backwards solution, but I recognize that, other solutions are very, very hard to come by. So I'm trying to be a realist, but I really don't like supporting this. But I do have a couple of questions, like how will the actual building be funded? Like, I understand we're buying the property, but we haven't talked about how much the project itself will cost. And also, what is the city's part in this? Will they be contributing, some of their dollars for the affordable housing aspect? I'm just trying to understand, like, there was a picture of the three of you all, and I want to know what's the city's role.
So as far as how much this will cost, I think we'll understand those types of details as we continue with the process and get a development partner on board who can help with that process. As far as city participation, it is possible that development arm will seek to have funding from the city and any of our other normal partners who are involved in providing funding for housing. Just at this point, we don't yet have those answers because we need to go through the process, and we'll bring that information back to you as we go along and get a development team on board who will design the project for us.
So we don't at this point have like a target budget for the project?
No, we do not. One of the first steps is to solicit to get a development team, work with that development team to see what they are proposing on the site. We can look at it from a high level and know what we would like to see there. That is the 100 to 300 units, but we aren't the ones that are going to have the architects that will look at the site, design it, what have you, and we don't want to get ahead of that process because it's a partnership to bring in those experts who are experts at doing this type of project, who will put some meat around the actualization of the project.
Thank you.
Commissioner Griffin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, Mr. Manager, and to everyone involved with this process, this is phenomenal. It's been a long time coming from my perspective. We've talked about utilizing effectively surplus school property for a long time. This is the first time this partnership has come to fruition. And it looks like we're going to have some affordable housing on excess school property. So I want to say to Ted Follett, a guy I used to work with a long time ago, it finally happened. But this is just phenomenal. I hope that we can get better as we do more of these partnership collaborations in the future. It is long overdue. So.
Thank you,
to
Commissioner.
you and your team, and to the manager and your team, this is something that we certainly can do in terms of resources that we have that could contribute to the huge affordable housing crisis here in Mecklenburg County, and that crisis isn't going away anytime soon. So, thank you, Mr. Manager. Thank you, team.
And Mr. Chair, if I can add a comment or two. We're very intentional in putting the photo of City Manager Marcus Jones, Superintendent Dr. Crystal Hill, and myself. We have this theme that we practice to, we say better together. And this is the first of what I anticipate of many other collaborative opportunities that we'll be bringing forward to our respective boards for consideration. Tonight is affordable housing. The next might be park. The next may be a project regarding economic development. But we are committed to one another to identifying ways that we can leverage initiatives, assets, whatever it may be within our current organizations to fill gaps in the other organizations as well. So I wanted to be clear about that. And then the other thing, Jacqueline, if you can speak to existing models where there have been developers that build on these type of sites and sell at market, and there's been really no cost to the organization. If you can touch bases on that, I think that would get to the question that Commissioner SRM is inquiring about a budget.
Yes, it's a common model where you see public entities make their land available towards the goal of more affordable housing. I think that is something that you see across North Carolina and that you see in the country at large. Some of the tools in their toolbox are tax credit options. There are other private funding partners, other public funding partners that all come together to bring their resources needed to make these types of projects work. So any particular developer may have a half a dozen funding partners that they call upon to make the sites work. One of the ways that has been instrumental in making these type of projects work is that the cost of the land may be discounted in some way to offset that development cost with the intention that it will remain affordable for a certain period of time. That helps in making those numbers pencil out. But the affordable housing community is very expert at doing that and being creative and bringing to bear financing from multiple streams to make these projects work, including private funds as well as public funds. So that's what they will work with us on when we get into this process. They'll tell us what the budget they think will be based on construction costs, engineering costs, design costs, and then they'll look at the sources of income to fill those needs, and where there may be gaps, they will work collaboratively with public sources to make sure that that is filled and that we get a product on the ground. I know that was long-winded, but let me know if that answers your question.
Let me go to Commissioner Leak.
Did you want me?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Is anybody listening? Does anybody care? Yes, I want to thank the manager for his work in making dreams come true. And as Mr. Griffin stated, our serving on the school board together was one of the things of purchasing land was to make sure that there was enough land that housing could be placed. And I know that we cannot build ourselves out of this problem of growth in Mecklenburg County. We just can't do it because every day they're coming. So then how do we meet the needs of those who need it the most? And we're talking about those who serve the community. And that happens to be our teachers and our staff workers and those people who cannot afford those the high rent that the people are charging today. So I want to say thank you to this board and to the manager and his staff for making a reality become a part of those of us who sit here. So when they look at this board and see the items and things that we've done that had never been done before, Mr. Chairman, is owed to you and your leadership and to this board. So I'm grateful that I'm sitting here to be a part of this. So again, to the staff and to our manager for making it happen. We've been looking at Brooklyn for over 40 years and still nothing has happened with Brooklyn other than the name of the street out there. So again, thank you for your leadership
Thank
and
you,
making it happen.
Appreciate that. Commissioner Altman.
I am so thrilled. This is innovative. It's a template that, to the manager's point, I hope that we will be able to demonstrate proof of concept and replicate it across the county to help teachers and other local county employees, other municipal employees be able to live in the communities that they serve. This is the right thing to do. It's the equitable thing to do. And just congratulations. I can't give you enough sort of thanks and encouragement. Keep going. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I want to add, don't forget the senior citizens part in that process.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say thank you to all of the people that emailed us, because, they all put us on alert. And in the process of them alerting us with all of their ideas, some of this was born. And so citizen input matters. And we heard them. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic point when you talk about being responsive, being responsible and being responsive to the community. Commissioner Meyer, I know you made sure that this being in your district, that this board was on full alert. A couple things, though, that I do want to lift up because I think it's really important. I remember when Commissioner Powell, myself, and Commissioner Rodriguez-McDowell first got on the board. And we got so much pushback, and I appreciated them because me personally, I wanted to look at affordable housing in a completely different way from the county's perspective. And I had colleagues that were new at that time that, doubled down on a thought process of units for the county, not only wraparound services. And then the existing board members bought into an idea that the county could actually do something differently as it relates to affordable housing. And so right now, as I look at this presentation, the next one that we have coming, I can't help but to think that when people were saying this isn't what the county does, we shouldn't do this, we shouldn't do that, and I think about all of the people that would not have housing when you think about the thousands of units that we've put online that Charlotte could not have done by themselves. The town of Davidson is trying to put units online as we speak. Other towns are doing the same thing. And so right now, I'm very thankful to this board. In addition to the manager, because you have to have the right people in place. And so for our manager to be able to pull together his peers and his counterparts to execute on ideas is very important. It's extremely important. So thank you, Mr. Manager, for that. But I would be remiss, and I want this community to understand two things. One, about 7, 8 years, well, actually more than that, Chairperson Sneed was running for school board. And her idea was this idea about a teacher village and using and leveraging surplus properties. I'm not saying it was a new idea. I'm not saying other people didn't think about it, but she ran on that. And as chair of the school board, she has been an amazing colleague. Of course, we're close personal friends, but she's been an amazing colleague in continuing to push this at every moment when people told you can't do it, you can't do it, you can't do it. And thanks to the expertise of people like Jacqueline, our manager, and the superintendent, and certainly Manager Jones, we're at a completely different place in the way that we look at these things. And I couldn't be more proud of that. And not that it can't be tweaked, not that it can't, we can't make adjustments, but I will tell you, we do need housing today for teachers. We need housing today for social workers, for people in public health, for people that work for Mecklenburg County, until there can be other.
And seniors.
Absolutely, Commissioner Leek, and thank you for continuing to lift up our seniors, because that is one of our priorities. But I wanted to share all of those things because it is very important, and I want this board, and I think this board should be very proud of the fact of the numbers of units that have been brought online since there has been a difference in direction and leadership. So thank you for that. Thank you, Jacqueline.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Next, our interim Director of Housing and Community Development, Ms. LaShonda Hart, will present a new and very exciting program about how we get more resources to our employees regarding home ownership and programs with local developers and builders who will help educate and potentially facilitate the home purchasing process for our county employees. LaShonda?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Manager, Mr. Chairman, and members of the board. I'm here to share an overview of the Employee Home Ownership Pathways Initiative, EHOP, and how we're working to create access to home ownership for Mecklenburg County employees. As we think about employee stability, access to home ownership continues to come up as an area of need. What we're seeing is that employees who are interested often face different types of barriers, whether that's affordability, access to information, or just simply not knowing where to begin. We also recognize that employees are at different stages. Some may be closer to be ready, while others are much earlier in the process. And right now, there isn't a single clear pathway to help employees navigate the journey. Opportunity for Mecklenburg County. So within that, there's a real opportunity for the county. This allows us to strengthen workforce stability while also supporting employees and building long-term financial stability. It gives us a way to leverage strong partnerships to expand access and opportunity without having to build something entirely new. EHOP is our response to that opportunity. It's a county-led initiative focused on education, awareness, and access. The goal to connect employees to trusted partners and create more structured, supportive experience. And importantly, this is designed to support employees at all stages of readiness, not just those prepared to purchase today. The vision is to expand equitable access to home ownership for county employees. We're doing that by combining education, resources, and partnerships so employees have both the knowledge and the connections they need to move forward. This is what the experience will look like from an employee's perspective. It starts with awareness, making sure employees know that the opportunity exists. From there, they can engage by attending an information session. That leads into education, where they begin to understand readiness and the steps involved in home ownership. We then connect them with trusted housing partners who can work with them directly. And from there, employees move along a pathway towards home ownership at their own pace. This is designed to be flexible and supportive, not one size fits all. This is an engagement model centered on education and access, as I've previously said. It connects employees to partners and resources in a structured way. I also want to be clear that this is not guaranteed home purchase program, and it's not a direct financial subsidy. And it's intentionally not limited to employees who are ready to buy. The goal is to meet employees where they are and help them move forward over time. This is the first of its kind. This is the first time the county has taken this type of approach focused specifically on employees. It establishes a model that we can build on, one that is scalable and can evolve as we learn more about employee needs. A key part of this initiative is partnership. Partners include Ascension Communities, Dream Key Partners, and True Homes. We're working with housing partners who bring a range of home ownership options across the county that allows the employees to explore different pathways based on their readiness and individual needs. Why this matters to Mecklenburg County? This initiative creates value in a few important ways. It increases awareness and understanding of home ownership among employees. It gives them access to multiple pathways and trusted partners. And from an organizational standpoint, it strengthens engagement and supports overall workforce stability. It also aligns directly with the county's broader housing strategy. Initial rollout. We're launching with 2 initial sessions on May 30th and June the 4th. These will be offered both in person and virtual to ensure accessibility. I've been working closely with public information and human resources on outreach. And the initial focus is simply awareness and engagement, getting employees connected to the opportunity. Moving forward. Looking ahead, this initiative is designed for long-term impact. It creates a structured pathway where one doesn't currently exist, and it positions the county to better support employees as they navigate towards home ownership over time. I will conclude by saying this. At its core, this is about making sure employees don't have to navigate home ownership on their own. We're creating a clearer, more supportive pathway. Chairman, I'm happy to take any questions. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you, LaShonda. I see smiles over here. I'm so happy. Commissioner Griffin, go ahead, go for it.
I mean, this is just a happy night. I'm almost like Elaine Powell. What did you say, Elaine? Happy day?
Snoopy Day.
Snoopy Day, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
This is just phenomenal. Anytime we can do something as substantial as this, you talk about home ownership. I mean, this is just great. And again, I'll say the same thing to the board, to the manager, the entire team, Ms. Hart, your efforts. I think this is just great, and this is just the beginning. And make the financial institution read Community Reinvestment Act to help out some of those partners that you identified on there. But Mr. Chairman, this just brings joy to me. And the manager said earlier, I don't know if a bond will pass that the city is proposing, but they're talking about even adding more money to affordable housing. The private sector's out there. There's just lots of opportunity, but it takes, I'm about to forget already, it takes leadership to pull this together, and I really appreciate the team that's done this. So, Mr. Chairman, thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you. Commissioner Meyer.
Thank you. I just looked over at the chair when you were finishing up, and we just shared the biggest smiles. We're like, yeah. LaShonda, you're one of my favorite people. Thank you for being here and doing what you do. And I just want to point out that, you know, we mentioned the ad hoc committee earlier, the equity investments, and we talked about generational wealth and how hard it is to build that. And this is just the beginning. And I'm just so proud of the county. I'm so proud of you and the work you do. And manager, thank you so much for your vision. Things are really, this is just so great for the county. Could this possibly be just a starting point? You know, we're starting with our employees. Is this a foundation that we can use to bring it out to the community?
Well, I will say that we're excited for this to be an opportunity for our employees, and it is scalable. And so it's something we definitely can consider in the future, but this is just exciting for this to be the first of its kind. Like, I'm really excited. I'm being reserved, but like I'm really jumping on the inside because this is great.
I know, this is amazing. Thank you.
And to hitch a ride to Mrs. Hart's response, you know, that's partly why I created this new housing department. So as we work together to define what the county's footprint is in affordable housing and other relative supportive services, this very well could be one of those programs that is scalable. So it remains to be seen, but we are considering all factors when it comes to designing what services are going to be offered by this new department.
This was excellent. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Commissioner Rodriguez McDowell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just was wondering, is this something that we learned about through employee surveys that, employees were struggling with this? Or is this like our, just knowing our employees are struggling with this?
Well, thank you so much for your question. So it's a mixture. Me hearing from employees and then the relationships that I have with the developers. A lot of these developers, they're working with CMS as well. And so some of the themes are the same across, with wanting to have access and have a platform where you work, where you can contact these developers and be able to have that up close and personal relationship to understand what the process is and knowing where you are in the process.
Well, I think this is, great for county employees. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, I promise. But I do, a little part of me struggles because we have so many in our community that are struggling with this. And, I hope that, I do think that we're offering lots of ways for the community, to, it's not enough ways, but we are working on this affordable housing problem. And so it's not like this is just for our employees and nobody else. I'm not saying that, but, on Friday, I marched in multiple marches for May Day because workers get the shaft in terms of pay. And I strongly believe that workers ought to be paid a wage that allows them to live in their community. And so I just, I know that's pie in the sky, but it's a struggle to sit on the board and feel like our own employees are not making enough to live in our community. And is that on us? These are some of the questions that I have. But I do like that we're thinking out of the box, and so I do appreciate that aspect.
Thank you for your feedback, Commissioner.
Commissioner Powell.
So at first I said I was just going to do a dance, but I thought I have to say something because you're one of my favorite people too.
Thank
and
you.
I love how serious you are about your work and your heart and how you take the information that you hear and put it together and try to do something to make things better, which I think this is. But I've heard employees too say, like, in the hallways, I wish they knew how much money I made, like that it was unattainable for them to get housing. So I think you're going to learn, like, this is a great start, but you're going to learn, like, more about
Absolutely.
helping them
Yes.
as time goes on. But it's like, it's an awesome energy to start with our own employees who are serving the public. And so thank you for just radiating sunshine all the time and being so caring and
you.
so serious about your work. I'm thinking of Willie right now.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Commissioner.
Did you have
I'm
anything?
sorry. Of course.
Okay.
10 years ago, maybe 11 years ago, and look at you now. Proud of you, young lady.
Thank you.
Yes, very proud of you, and thank you for what you've given to this county thus far, and your future is bright.
Thank you.
My question deals with, where are we with senior repairs? Don't answer me now, but that's on the agenda also.
Okay.
Because I'm getting calls, so help me to continue that process that will help our seniors to live a better life. Am
Yes,
I
ma'am.
right, Mr. Chairman?
Absolutely.
Yes, so there's a lot in the mix.
Absolutely.
But you're the right person at the right time for it.
Thank you.
So any way that this board can make it better, you will make it better for us to do it. And I appreciate your service to this county. As long as you've been here, your father worked here, and I know your family well. And I know you're going to give us a good day's work, as you've always done that. Never shied away from doing work. So whatever we can do to make it happen, don't fail to ask us to help you.
Yes, ma'am.
And not to get in your way to stop you. Because, sometimes people get in the way and want to stop something, by just saying certain things, but keep your head up.
Yes, ma'am.
And keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
And bless your family, honey. Proud of you. You know I am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. LaShonda, great presentation. Thank you for your work. Three things I want to say. Number one, I fully, 1,000,000,000% support any pathway to home ownership, particularly for those who do not have the disposable income to be able to qualify traditionally. For whatever those reasons are. And the partners that you've mentioned, I know work externally outside of just the county and are doing great work within the community. So I think they're fantastic partners, number one, that you've identified.
Yes.
Second thing, I do want to speak to the manager and about his leadership because I really think it's important. I can't speak to other managers and executives, don't need to. But one thing I know that what we have is somebody who executes. Some of this stuff we've been talking about for quite some time and haven't really been able to piece it together. But, Mr. Manager, you're leading a team that I feel like I love execution, period. Like, I love execution. I love to be able to get out in the community and say, yes, we hear you when you say that there's a housing issue, and guess what? I can point to certain aspects of what the county is doing. Yes, we can't solve to 30,000 units, but I certainly feel like we're leveraging all the tools in our tool belt at this particular time, and I know more tools will come because we have a department now, which we never had. So I would tell you this, for someone to execute in the way that you've done it in this short period of time, I really sincerely appreciate that. And it reminds me, you're 3 for 3 tonight. It's like Reggie Jackson in the '76 World Series, 3 home runs. So you've really done something. I am extremely happy with where we are, and I'm not taking a victory lap, right? Because again, this board continues to think about those that we still have to reach. But I am happy that we are at least attempting and reaching those that we can right now. We'll continue to push in the effort and to remember those that don't have this opportunity today. So, my sister, thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ms. Hart. Well done. All right, the third and final agenda item under my report is a presentation that outlines a draft of our multi-year workforce development framework. I want to stress to the board that this is a draft. It is not the final product.
Okay.
Tonight, we are seeking your feedback prior to finalizing this framework. This board has requested on several opportunities to weigh in major initiatives, such as this one prior to finalizing, to ensure that it is in alignment. Well, tonight is your opportunity to do just that. Assistant County Manager Dr. Virginia Koval will present the framework. And as a reminder, Dr. Koval has only been on the job for approximately 100 days or so. And I am very pleased, extremely pleased, with the progress that we have made under her leadership in such a short amount of time. And I'm excited about what's to come under her leadership as well. So, Mr. Chair, I'm going to ask that you recognize Dr. Koval to present this draft framework, seeking your feedback.
Absolutely. Dr. Koval, it's all on you.
All right. Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the board, Mr. Manager. Thank you for the opportunity to share where we're headed on workforce development and upward mobility. Now, before we dive in, I want to give you a quick overview of what we're going to cover today and how we're going to make it 4 for 4 tonight, not just 3 for 3.
No pressure.
We'll start with our local workforce trends, both the strengths and the disparities that we're seeing here in Mecklenburg County. Then I'm going to review a few key terms central to understanding today's economic landscape. From there, we're going to look at the barriers too many residents are experiencing when they're trying to move up the economic ladder. And we'll walk through the county's collaborative framework, that draft that we mentioned, and the key strategies for our fiscal year 2026-28 plan. And finally, we'll wrap up with timelines and next steps. So my presentation tonight has 4 key objectives. First, to set a clear strategic vision for expanding economic opportunity across the county. Second, to analyze workforce trends and the barriers that limit upward mobility. Third, to define the county's role in the workforce ecosystem. And finally, to establish targeted priorities for each role so that our efforts are focused and actionable. Now, this is a high-level strategic assessment. This reviews our partnership landscape and value proposition. This is not an implementation plan. It sets direction and initial focus areas. The detailed tactics will follow as we build out implementation with our partners. Commissioners, as you know, Mecklenburg County is thriving by many traditional measures. Poverty is at historic lows, median household income continues to climb, unemployment is just 3.2%, that's below state and national averages, and we are ranked second in U.S. metro job growth. These outcomes, in part, reflect your commitment and strong decision-making. But we know that top-line trends don't tell the whole story. Even in a booming economy, disparities are widening here locally. We're seeing a shrinking middle, specifically the decline of middle-skill, middle-wage jobs that once served as stepping stones into home ownership and generational wealth building. We're seeing an increase in residents who are underemployed, working hard, but unable to earn enough or fully utilize their skills. So why are so many residents struggling, even when employment is strong? One key factor is that cost of living increases are outpacing wage growth, and that gap is widening. Let's define a couple terms here. The living income standard represents the income required for a household to meet essential needs, things like housing, childcare, transportation. Similarly, we have a new term, ALICE. This stands for Asset Limited Income Constrained Employed. It's a mouthful, but these are individuals and families earning above the federal poverty level, but still unable to cover basic expenses. They're working, often full-time, but the costs are simply too high compared to what they earn. Regardless of the terminology, the key message is that wage growth has not kept pace with rising costs, which means even people who are employed and earning more than poverty level wages are financially vulnerable. So what does household income look like here in Mecklenburg County? This slide shows the major income bands from poverty to ALICE to the living income standard up through higher income households. These ranges vary by household size, but the overall picture is clear. About 10% of our households locally live in poverty. Another 18% fall into the ALICE category, earning above the poverty line, but still not able to reliably cover basic costs. And the largest group, nearly 29% of households in Mecklenburg County, are at the living income standard, often just barely meeting essential costs. Now, I'm talking about a lot of numbers here, but I don't want to lose sight of what these numbers represent. People who are surviving, but not substantially getting ahead. When you add these groups together, almost 60% of our households are either struggling or just getting by. That's why focusing solely on poverty reduction will not be enough to strengthen economic mobility in our community. This is why improving economic mobility requires a dual focus. It's not just about reducing poverty. It's about helping more residents reach a true living income and moving beyond that living income into higher earning roles. When we look at our workforce today, we see a community full of people who are working hard, often in multiple jobs, but they're not necessarily getting ahead. These are residents who earn too much to qualify for many supports, but too little to build real financial security. They're navigating childcare challenges, transportation gaps, rising housing costs, and skill requirements that evolve faster than the opportunities that are available to them. And our work must focus on providing paths toward an improved trajectory for these individuals. In the future that we're working toward, more residents are earning a living income. More residents are entering middle and high income careers. And there's a meaningful reduction in both ALICE and poverty levels across the county. These are the trajectories that we want to create, where our economic growth translates into real upward mobility for residents across the community. But what's holding us back? Our residents are not held back by lack of effort. They're held back by structural barriers that this plan is designed to address. Access to opportunity, clear career paths aren't always visible or easy to access. Program navigation, workforce services are fragmented and residents often don't know where to begin. Aligning careers and talent, employers often struggle to find qualified workers for open positions. These barriers are where Mecklenburg County has both a responsibility and an opportunity to lean in. So how do we do that? To truly improve upward mobility, we must maximize our impact by leveraging the county's role in new and more intentional ways. Why is it important to define our role in this strategic framework? Why not just jump into the details of possible pilots and possibilities for progress tracking? Because we are creating a Mecklenburg County framework for success, something we can return to consistently as decisions, partnerships, and opportunities evolve. So let's review 5 prioritized leadership roles and the strategies associated with each. First, as convener, Mecklenburg County brings together partners to align shared understanding and bring coordinated solutions. As investor, we fund and operate programs that expand career pathways and sustainable employment. As an employer, we set the vision by modeling upward mobility best practices within our own workforce. As an influencer, we advocate for policies and initiatives that strengthen talent development and support long-term economic prosperity. And as a connector, we link employers, community partners, and residents to improve overall alignment. These leadership roles come directly from a SWOT analysis, extensive community partner conversations, direct collaborations with the City of Charlotte and others, national and local scans of best practices. We've been very busy doing work. And in my experience, and I know many of you have seen this too, community initiatives often fail because they treat the landscape as a blank slate. New efforts come with excitement, high-profile momentum, big promises, but they overlook the organizations already doing the work and the partnerships already in motion and the assets that already exist. I want to make sure that we're intentionally avoiding that trap by defining our role, this role, in relation to the existing ecosystem from the beginning. You can see a prioritized strategy for each role, each one representing a meaningful opportunity for the county to strengthen economic mobility through our unique levers of control. Now, Just because we have the opportunities in each of these leadership roles does not automatically mean that we have to act on all of them. Many communities identify roles, gaps, strategies, but choose to act in narrow or very limited ways. However, the vision for Manager Bryant has been very clear from the beginning. The time is now, and we must be bold. The disparities we saw earlier, the shrinking middle, the rise in Alice households, all point to a moment where leadership matters. In the next several slides, I'm going to walk you through each of these strategies in more detail so you can see exactly how we plan to leverage and maximize our role in each. First, connector. Traditionally, workforce efforts start with residents. We look at what they need, what barriers they're facing, what skills they might be missing, and then we try and build programs around all of that. And while that work absolutely matters, it also puts the weight on residents to navigate complicated systems and somehow figure out how to get from point A to point B. It also sends an unintentional message that the talent in our community is what needs to be fixed. We want to shift that burden and that message. So instead of starting with residents and asking them to adapt, we're starting with employers. We're asking, what roles are you trying to fill? And how can we create more direct, accessible pathways for people to step into those jobs? By flipping the model, we shorten the distance between residents and real employment opportunities. To do that, we'll bring together a cohort of employers, especially in fast-growing industries, with strong career pathways like construction, technology, healthcare. These are employers who are willing to try a different approach and help build direct talent pipelines into their organizations. We will also incorporate organizations that are receiving or have received business incentives. If we can connect companies receiving incentives with local talent in a more intentional, structured way, we can maximize those investments. Together, this cohort will design training pathways and remove barriers that keep local talent from connecting to their open positions. So this might mean offering paid training so that working adults can move into higher paying careers. This might mean building stronger connections with CMS high schools. It might mean tackling transportation challenges head on. From this pilot, we will develop a playbook, a model that can scale to more employers and more industries, creating faster, more direct on-ramps to higher paying careers. Next up, convener. As workforce trends shift, we're seeing more data than ever before. But data alone does not create change. It informs the work, but shared understanding is what moves systems forward. Right now, partners across the ecosystem aren't working from the same information, which leads to fragmentation. The county will curate key workforce trends and translate them into clear, actionable insights, so we as community partners are all working from the same page. In doing so, we create a coordinated workforce ecosystem where we're aligned, informed, and moving in the same direction. Investor. As the economic landscape changes, the county must deepen its partnerships with employers who pay a living wage. The county has already invested in its upward mobility division and intends to expand the number and types of employment training and options available to participants in Mecklenburg County's economic mobility programs. We want to ensure that the programs we offer don't just help residents get a job, but help them get a job with higher wages and on a trajectory towards long-term success. Employer. Our people are our most valuable resource, so we must lead by example. If we expect employers to invest in their workforce, then we must do the same. And we know from experience that when employers see others adopting strong practices, living wages, career pathways, internships, they're more likely to follow. So our strategy is simple. strengthen our own career pathways, implement best employment practices, and expand student internships across the organization. By modeling what we want to see, we can set the tone for the broader workforce ecosystem. All right, and lastly, in our role as influencer, this role is to make sure that we are prepared for the workforce opportunities coming with the $25 billion transit expansion. Without a coordinated strategy, local talent won't be ready to fill those roles. This is a can't miss moment. So that's why we're working with partners to align workforce programs with the jobs that this investment will create, so our residents can fully benefit from the opportunities ahead. So in summary, this strategic framework outlines 5 priorities that operationalize Mecklenburg County's leadership as connector, convener, investor, employer, influencer. Together, these roles form a coordinated framework that directs where we concentrate our efforts and how we maximize our impact. Now, this is a systems level approach, one that depends on strong alignment across county departments and our external partners. By clearly defining our role, we position the county to move multiple strategies forward at the same time, creating a more coordinated and powerful impact across the workforce ecosystem. And this approach isn't and can't happen in isolation. It reflects intentional collaboration internally across departments and externally with community partners who share our goal of improving economic mobility together. So what will this look like? It will look like a community where data guides our decisions, where partners are aligned, where we are known nationwide as a model for how rapid economic growth can expand, not limit economic mobility. A county where employers are not just hiring, but are partnering with us to build innovative, people-centered pathways into careers. A Mecklenburg County where public investments translate directly into training opportunities and living wage jobs for residents. Now, a lot of us have seen the picture on this slide before. It's the one tied to the study that ranked us 50 out of 50 in economic mobility. It's an image and a ranking that stuck with many of us for different reasons. I had already dedicated my career to this work, like many of us, long before that study came out. It didn't change my direction, but it's changed my urgency. Because years from now, I don't want our community to be remembered for that ranking. I want us to be remembered for how we responded to it in moments like these, for how we changed our systems, for how we worked differently, and created real opportunities for our residents. Our next phase is tactical. Forming implementation teams, setting up logistics, establishing metrics so we can track progress and stay accountable. Implementation teams are being formed, and we expect to be able to report on progress and preliminary results after this summer. That concludes my remarks, and I will take questions. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Colville. Appreciate that. I'm going to start. Before I come to the vice chair, I do want to just remind colleagues that the manager, as the manager said earlier, this is a start, right? Please provide as much feedback as we can so that the staff can take as much as possible. And again, so we're not ping-ponging back and forth, but thousands of presentations, because this takes a lot of work. But with that being said, let me start with Vice Chair Altman, and then I'm going to come to Commissioner Griffin.
Thank you. In 2020, when I was a commissioner-elect, and I met with the manager and the deputy county manager at that time, whose portfolio this fell into, I came with a sketch of an idea and a plan around our gaps, the problems, and my humble ideas about how to solve it. And I haven't been real happy with the pace or direction these 5.5 years or whatever it's been. I am so thrilled by your presentation. I feel so heard. And it's not about me, of course, it's about a problem that I felt was not adequately spoken about, diagnosed, and the work to really address it wasn't genuinely underway in a systemic way. And there's so much about what you said that I think is just right on the money. So I hear you. This is a framework. It is preliminary. We got a long way to go, but I just think you're right where you need to be in the channel. As the transit plan comes, and I just reference that because it's a $25 billion project, package of projects. So it's large, but there's many others. I mean, all the time we're getting great new opportunities that are coming in to maximize with our business incentives. I love that you shouted that out. Immigration is being reduced by the federal government. That will change our labor outlook. Our population is not growing, it's falling. That will change labor trends. AI is, in the short term, turning labor trends upside down. So, I just ticked off 5 or 6 major impacts to our labor market. And you are the person at the tip of the spear helping Mecklenburg County develop strategies which are going to try to anticipate that and align our residents for success, because while we've always had a focus around poverty and people with multiple barriers to employment, the shrinking middle class has not gotten enough attention, and it impacts so many of our residents who are working and struggling just to have food and housing and health care. So I cannot thank you enough. Thank you, Mr. Manager. And I'm a partner for you, and keep going.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Commissioner Griffin.
Thank you, Dr. Cole. We've had a robust conversation, I think, just yesterday about this process. I'm still trying to get my arms around it. I'm certainly appreciative to the manager and the team for having a quarterback. But I'm going to give you a couple of questions and then try to respond to it a little bit. I'm still not clear about the target. It's poverty, is it ALICE? Who's the target, and how do we even address the target? How does the plan address upstream, issues, not downstream? The shrinking middle class, you're poor, you can't make ends meet. But what are the characteristics upstream that created that problem? The third question is, I'm not sure if we're creating another program, or how are we aligning the county's revenues when you start talking about conveners and facilitators and partners, et cetera. The next question deals with accountability mechanisms. I had a conversation just today, and the person was telling me about how CMS high school students are moving into the workforce with apprenticeships and getting really good jobs. But then I said, okay, I've asked that question just a couple of months ago, and I couldn't get information about, enlisted, enrolled, or unemployed. So, the question about the mechanism. Before I joined the Board of County Commissioners, I would read all of their pulse reports. This was by one of the staff members here. And what made upward mobility and workforce development so important, in the pulse report, it said 45% of our jobs are low-wage jobs in Mecklenburg County. And so when you start looking at the actual jobs, I look at it as a three-legged stool. The seat is the jobs. One leg is wage structure. And how are you going to impact wage structure? Teachers are going to get paid what teachers get paid. They're not going to get paid what they're worth. So how are you going to impact wage structure in terms of what Atrium pays, or Bank of America pays, or Bosch electronic pays. The other leg of that structure is market forces. What makes this middle class shrink is market forces. I remember my dad complained that a loaf of bread costs $0.25. He was upset that a loaf of bread cost $0.25. We're not going to stop that market force out there as things cost more or conveniences cost more. But that has to be a consideration as you look at the jobs and wage structure. The third leg of that stool deals with alignment. Alignment of skills, talents, et cetera. And so what I'm looking for is how do we create those three legs? What influence do we have in terms of wage structure? As I said to you on the phone yesterday, in the old days, you created stuff. Charlotte's going to create stuff. Charlotte's going to create jobs in terms of transit. And so they can plug in, or we can plug in because we're the job creators. But beyond the job creators, because the economy is much broader than that's transit, all transit certainly has opportunities. Beyond that, how do we get the job creators to accept us as their partner for aligning the workers into those jobs? And so I understand theoretically what you've presented. I'm just trying to figure out more specifically those targets so that we can have some sense as to where we're moving along the line, because this isn't the first time we've tried this, but it is the first time that Mecklenburg County that I'm aware of has hired someone at this level to run that train. So I've asked you a number of questions. There's not enough time in my 5 minutes. I'm already over 5 minutes. But some way that the manager, as you take this draft plan and start to roll it out, that we can fill up those things. But there are some things, Mr. Chair, that we don't control. We just fundamentally don't control.
Yeah.
And if we can figure out how to control those, then we'll be in a much better position to put people into living wage jobs.
Yes, absolutely.
Mr. Chairman, I used up all my time, but thank you so much, sir.
Absolutely. Let me address as much as I can. I don't know that I can address all of it right now, but in follow-up, certainly want to make sure that I follow up. And again, this is the beginning of that as we dig into this piece of things. This really is meant to set us up as a framework. And I really, really appreciate your feedback and thought partnership as we are building this, because we don't want it to be another initiative that's been stood up. I know it's been tried before, and it's been tried before because it matters and these changes need to happen, but we don't want to see the same level of failure that's happened in the past. So we want to get it right. I want to address just a couple things in there. The target piece of things around targets, accountability, that is where we are starting to build things out now. And I think there's some population level metrics in there that are really critical, understanding that reduction of ALICE, understanding how we're changing trajectories. We have to get more sophisticated in how we are tracking progress and success, because these trends are so dynamic now. It's not just are you in poverty or not in poverty? We have to be able to track trajectories, which is really difficult, but it's where the next evolution of the data are going. So that's one piece of things, and we're committed to getting it right. But when it comes to program level metrics, initiative level metrics, that's the next phase of this work, is making sure that we're building those out really, really clearly and providing an update on what that looks like so that we're able to track progress and hold ourselves accountable to each of these specific areas as we build them out. But I want to get it right, and I don't want to create something now that doesn't mirror the work that we're doing. And I want to make sure that these metrics are collaborative metrics, so it's not just the county, but that we're working alongside CMS and others so that we are collectively moving the dial on this.
Good, thank you. Commissioner Rodriguez-McDowell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I really appreciate the deep dive that, that you're taking. And of course, the manager, I really see your thought process and how you're tackling these things, and I just really appreciate that. There's two things I just want to mention. During your remarks, you talked about at one point about not necessarily doing all the things. And I just wondered if you could say, if you're talking about these 5 strategies or whatever, are you picking 1 or 2? Are you, like, what are the ones you think you want to zero in on? Because they all sound like there's a place, for us, but I just wonder if your focus is going to 1 or 2 or whatever. So I wanted to just ask that. And then also on page 9, darn this computer, okay. Page, I can't scroll through these things fast enough. Page 9, I just want to say, this slide, I don't know if you're showing it, no, it's the one where it shows current state and future state, and it's got the little colored, lines, and I just really appreciate that visual and how you're zeroing in on, this is where we are, and then this is where we're trying to get, and I don't know, I'm a graphics person. I really appreciated how that was visualized, and it helped me to absorb what you're bringing to us. So if you could just say a little bit more about.
Absolutely. For the 5 areas, it's a great question. For the 5 areas, a lot of the work that's been done is not just looking at what are the national trends, what are local trends, where are their best practices, but really working with partners to see where is there a viable role and a pathway forward for Mecklenburg County, essentially pressure testing. What would this look like if we went forward in these areas? And I do believe we can move forward in all 5 areas. That being said, there's still implementation things that need to be determined, and we really need to figure out the logistics of implementation. But these are all areas where I've had conversations with partners, we're at the table with partners, and we can move forward and expect some progress in each of these areas. So I do think it's all 5. We've got to determine what implementation and resourcing for each of those looks like, but definitely all 5.
Thank you.
Commissioner Leek?
Thank you. Let me first say thank you for your presentation. Heavy information. Action. I looked at this and it says workforce development framework and action plan. So within the process of your presenting your information, you've given us an action plan on how to reach and make workforce workable. But then who are those individuals that we're trying to change their skills to become workers? When I drive through my district and see people not working, I worry about the skills. And then we say something to the point of cultivating a dynamic workforce that aligns education, training, and evolving needs of employers. What are the needs that we have in Mecklenburg County that will address that? Years ago, they were putting up all these apartments downtown. And I would go in my car and park at 4 o'clock and see who was coming out. And I never saw but one black person coming out of the building in that process. There were Hispanics, Latinos, men and women, but not the average black person. But if I go down on Bailey'sford Road, I see my people not working. So I'm wondering how and what can we do to change that image, to bring about again, that middle class that we seem not to have anymore. And parts of the city, if we look at 77, they're talking about coming through a neighborhood that was strictly middle-class neighborhood living people. And it's getting ready to disrupt it by changing the flow of traffic in that community, which will destroy, again, what was there as a stable neighborhood, which is not anymore. So how do we change that thinking process to get our young people and our citizens ready for what kind of work? And I look and see the scaffolds in the city, and I see where the work is, but I'm not seeing my people there. So what seems to be the issue for us as it relates to equity in the process?
Absolutely, absolutely. There are two pieces in there. One, I want to make sure that I address the piece around who are we really targeting here with these
I'm sorry,
efforts.
can't hear you.
I want to make sure that we address the first question around who are we really targeting? What are we really talking about in terms of population? First, it's making sure that we're expanding our definition of need so that it's both those that are in poverty and those that are in the ALICE community.
Yes.
That's one group right there. And then there's another group that is on the cusp of making ends meet, but really needs a pathway to those middle income careers. That's another group. Those are the two groups that we are really targeting, is that we want to make sure that everybody is on a trajectory towards that next rung of economic mobility. And in terms of the piece around, I think you said it yourself, we have to be aligned. We have to make sure that our talent and our education systems and our workforce and our employers are aligned in the vision that we have for our community. And it's always helpful to hear you speak and remind of us of, even as we're looking at this data, the individuals that are behind it.
And I'm not sure we have a workforce development goals yet. What are they?
I believe.
You can answer that and then.
I believe that is coming with we've been working collaboratively on the scorecard. So I believe some of that will be presented in upcoming meetings.
Commissioner Meyer.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. It's, honestly, to me, it's kind of abstract because it's not real yet. And so, I look forward to like seeing the meat of it. But I am very encouraged that we have a plan moving forward. I think it's great. Just a couple of questions. You say one of the next steps is to implement the work groups. Where are the people coming from? Are they volunteers? Are we paying them? Are they coming from all walks of society? So that's my question. And then when I think of workforce development, I traditionally think of the city, CPCC, CMS. Are we partnering with all of them, and are they providing volunteers or, input for these groups? And also corporations, Atrium. And I think when I think of Siemens, I think they're probably one of the best businesses here in Charlotte that do workforce training on the job training. So, are they involved in any way? Those are just kind of my first thoughts.
Yes, absolutely. So first to the question of partnerships, you mentioned a lot of the major partners and where they're coming from. The work has already started. So a lot of this is already in process because it's not that the landscape or the ecosystem is stopping just because we're developing this framework. So there's already convenings happening with CMS, with CPCC, with the City of Charlotte. So we've already engaged them on a number of these topics in developing the framework. We will just deepen that engagement as we get into the implementation work. So it's many of our major partners. It's also incorporating some of our nonprofit and philanthropic partners, and particularly the business community. We've had early conversations with some businesses. If there are others that we need to be engaging with, now is the time to certainly let us know. But a lot of this is there. I've been very, very impressed by how much support there is for this and how much folks want to come to the table and really start to drive change forward. So there is no shortage of interest in collaboration, and a lot of this framework has been created collaboratively. So folks are already at the table. Now it's just digging in a little bit deeper.
So it's not, the implementation of work groups. That's, to me, I think of people gathering around a table kind of a thing, but you're talking about it's on a bigger, higher level.
Somewhat. So yes, it is folks gathering around a table. So we're still convening these individuals. For some things like our internal policies and things that we're doing, that's going to be much more internal. But for example, if you take some of the policy work around transit, that's going to be your Charlotte Regional Business Alliance, that's going to be the MPTA, that's going to be a lot of the local community partners digging in and doing the work together.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Colville, I want to give quite a bit of feedback, but before I say that, I want to just say I'm excited to receive this presentation. Your added context really helped clarify a lot for me. My thoughts are as follows. Number one, I don't think that the county can look at I think the county has to look at the problem from the macro level, but I think our approach has to be a micro sort of target. And the reason why I say that is because I don't think we have the resource or the bandwidth to try to say that we'll impact every block of the targets that you have to hit. For me, it's more of if Alice is the folks that are, if we can say that Alice portion, if we can move them from $20 an hour to $35, and that gives us the biggest bang for the buck with the resources we have, or is it the population that's at $10 an hour and get them to 20? Like, I don't know how much resource we get as far as ROI. I think we have to pick a target to say, if we pick our poison, you keep the safety net, obviously, and we continue to, invest there. But if it's the missing middle that's a target, then we target that. And for me, it is an idea of setting a target of, one, I think we should disaggregate the data. I think the board needs to see the data disaggregated so we understand who is the Alice population. And, the tier below that, right? Those in the poverty bands. Let's see that. Let's see the racial, demographic, all the demographics so that we can understand what we're dealing with. Once we disaggregate it, let's set realistic targets, understanding the resources we've provided to you, i.e. financial resources. You're a team of one. I mean, will our target be 500 individuals in that Alice band that we connect to training program, whether it's Siemens or whoever else it is, within, an 18-month period or a 2-year or a 1-year period, whatever that is, but we've got to connect them and what our expected outcome is. Right, so we know everybody in Alice the average wage is $15 an hour, and our goal is to get 500 people from $15 an hour to $25 an hour. Then we can track that. But I don't think we can be all things to all people. I don't think we need to be all over the map. I mean, I think we should have a specific target. That's just me. And then we leverage our partners to duplicate it. So while we are the Alice band, somebody else is at a different band, but they're leveraging a very similar process. So it's stackable and it's duplicatable. But we don't try to control everything that, especially those elements that are out of our control, in my opinion. So this is just, and the other thing is tying it to one of our priorities. Obviously, workforce is the priority that we've tied this to, but it's also reducing racial disparities. How are we tracking that? So the final thing that I want to just say, you know, we always in this community talk about this idea of training and training people and training people. And Griffin and I talked about this the other day because I always share my story. He's heard it 10,000 times. And the thing is, though, the only thing that allowed a family like mine to move out of a public housing situation was because there was a subsidy and support that allowed my mother to go to training. We cannot ask people that are making $15, $16, $17 an hour that are working 50 hours a week. You gotta stop it to go to this training. You're not gonna get paid, so you gotta try to work it out. And the people are training you and they say you gotta be here from 9 to 5. I mean, it's not gonna work. I mean, the board, we have to get serious about, you know, is our investment in a subsidy so that 500 people can go to training or so that we can move them. And it's just an investment that we're going to have to make. So those are the things that I just wanted to put out there. And obviously, I'm just one commissioner, and so it would take the board to figure out where we want to go. But that's my feedback. And I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Thank you. No, it's wonderful feedback. I think it's worth us digging into and really looking at, are there areas that need to be prioritized over others? So I want to do a little more digging in that area, but thank you for the feedback.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Collective Board, for your feedback. We really appreciate it.
Great job.
Dr. Cova, well done.
Yes.
That concludes my report, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Manager. I appreciate it. And I think at this time we'll move to, is there a motion to approve those items not pulled from consent?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, we'll move to the full consent 26-0153 lease extension, Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools. Commissioner Leak.
Yes, I pulled this, and there's a long litany of information as to what we are leasing for the school system in this building on the 5th floor. And is it going to last 30 years? We're going to have to pay for this leasing for them.
Well, you're right. There is a lengthy response here that addresses the question that was submitted, which is what is being leased to Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools. And as noted here through the 1990 Charlotte Mecklenburg Government Center contract, the county had use of half of the 5th floor of CMGC with City Human Resources occupying the other half of the floor. What this entails is in 2007, the county did an arrangement with the Board of Education, which CMS would lease the entirety of the 5th floor for CMG. The lease between the county and CMS has a term period of 20 years. Beginning from July 1, 2009, CMS has planned some upgrades to the floor and would like to extend its lease to December 6 of 2032, which is when the county's lease for that floor would expire with the City of Charlotte.
So we're leasing from the City of Charlotte for the school board.
That's correct.
What about the building they have out in Clanton Park? It will not accommodate them?
Well, I'm not prepared to address that, but if that's something you'd like me to take a look at, I'm happy to do
I
that.
would like for you to look at that.
Sure.
Thank you. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second. Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Next item, 26-0165, West Charlotte Permanent Greenway Easement and Land Donation, Long Creek Greenway. Commissioner Lee.
Donation, Long Creek Greenway. This is important when people donate property and land to the county and how it's going to be utilized.
That's correct. The question we receive is who's making the donation? The permanent greenway easement for future Long Creek Greenway is being donated by several commercial developers, and they're listed here on the response sheet.
Right, but we don't know what they're going to use the property for.
Was for the greenway.
To extend the greenway.
That's correct.
All right. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Next item, 26-0167, East Charlotte Land Donation, New Local Park. Commissioner Leak.
New local park, where is this located? Land donated to local, off of W.T. Harris Boulevard, near the plaza
That's correct.
intersection. Is that going to be a park for the community or for the county?
It will be a park for the community, which is
For
inclusive.
that given community?
Yes.
Okay. I need to know where that is. And so moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second. Moved and seconded. I just wanted to add to this. Mr. Manager, I believe this is the 27 part of the 27 acres that was purchased between Albemarle Road and Hickory Grove Road, correct? And then this is an additional 2 acres
yes,
that we're
that's
getting.
correct.
So we're adding to this gap area in District 4. So we're really happy to get these additional 2 acres. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
And this is why I pull consent items, so the general public will know the business of the county. Money,
Hold on,
contract.
Commissioner Lee, hold on. Next item is 26-0187, Donation Veterans Golf Tournament. Commissioner Lee, now you can speak to
Help
it.
me understand this. What did we give them?
Yeah, these are donations for the Veterans Golf Tournament. This item is for reimbursement to the 2025 budget for this tournament. The department sought sponsorship in the amount of $10,200, which they raised, and this is the first time that sponsors have been involved with Park and Recreation Veterans Golf event.
Thank you so much, and I know the veterans were happy to get those funds. Am I
Yes.
right? Thank you. Public needs to know that. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second. Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Commissioner reports. Commissioner Powell.
Thank you. Today's my celebration of Louisa. So on last Friday, might have been the Friday before, sometimes it gets mixed up. I got this urgent phone call right before 5 o'clock about something related to code enforcement. And, really urgent, to the matter of almost $10 million.
Can't hear you.
And so I got an urgent phone call from a business about something related to code enforcement, and that the entries they do in Acela, and I said, well, I will try to help you. And so the director of code enforcement was on an airplane coming from a conference, and so I had to get a hold of other people. And they were so responsive and so professional, and it really mattered, because of the tax credit. The timeliness of it mattered. And so Andrew Herring was, I'm sure there were more people than Andrew, but Andrew Herring was a point person. And I just want to say thank you to the professionalism, just extreme professionalism, and helping the business. And hooray, it all got taken care of. And then every time I go to one of our full-service recycling centers, I'm so impressed with the work that Jeff Smithberger and his team have done, expanding recycling opportunities. And so I had the greatest experience yesterday. So we're doing that pilot program where we're collecting food waste for composting, and we have these food waste bins. And there was a dad there, and he was so serious, he was taking out the compost bags, and he was just an awesome person, and I could tell he was awesome. So I said, oh, that is so great. I'm so happy to see you doing that. And he said, my children, they thought it was so gross. I told them they don't even have to look at it. Just put your food waste in here and I'll take care of it. And I said, this just makes me so happy because he's teaching his children this. And we really need to keep food waste out of the landfills, and we're trying. And so we have these pilot programs, and it's catching on. And it was just a happy, happy thing, and I wanted to share it. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Griffin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just real quickly, Dr. Campbell and team had a presentation dealing with environmental health during our HHS meeting, and I learned about Crystal Swinger, who really goes out and inspect various areas, and that was real new to me. The very next day, there was a 70,000-gallon sewage spill down in southwest Mecklenburg County, and people are calling and emailing. I'm saying, is this something that our environmental health of the health department handles? Absolutely. And this young lady, Ms. Swinger, owned the case, moved out to the area, because in the lower part of southwest Mecklenburg County, there are residents on well water near Lake Wiley, and was able to go out and inspect. I don't know what the results have been, but the fact that staff got right on the case, Mr. Manager. Crystal Swinger. Works for Kimberly Scott. Great job. Thank you, colleagues, for your indulgence.
Public health is related to it.
Commissioner Lee.
Thank you. On Thursday, we had a family reunion of our seniors, and it was standing room only. I was just so excited about it. People brought pictures of their family members, and the oldest person there was 92 years old. The youngest person was 21, a graduate student from Hampton University came to be with us. It was awesome, if I must say so. People turned out. People enjoyed themselves, talking about their families and events in their family. So I'm just grateful that our chairperson could not make it. I'm sorry he wasn't there, or the manager could not make it because he was away also. But the people thoroughly enjoyed it. They had lunch, they had items to take home. Information is what we made sure that our seniors had. So again, thank you for that opportunity. Again, I said, standing room only. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Meyer.
Thank you. This evening, our speaker from Santé gave us these little pens for mental health awareness. So I just want to remind you guys to check on your friends and family. Not everybody's okay, and we need to listen and lend a hand when you can. Thank you.
Well said. Two items, real quick. First one is this. Commissioner Meyer, myself, and Commissioner Dunlap attended the ribbon cutting at Naomi Drennan, which is in District 5.
Yes, it
And
is.
I just wanted to say, the facility is just beautiful. And I
Where
know
was this now?
Naomi Drennan, and I will just say that I know everybody wants a regional recreation center, but I will tell you what our staff has done with that recreation center. The community they were overwhelmed and they were excited. And it's a beautiful facility, and I want to shout out Park and Rec staff on that. Second thing, speaking of Park and Rec staff and Trail of History, today I had the honor again to represent this board at the Charlie L. Sifford statue unveiling at Elizabeth Park, which is a beautiful, beautiful space. For those of you that don't know who Charlie Sifford was, he was essentially the Jackie Robinson of golf.
Yep.
A real pioneer, a Charlottean. We have a golf course over at Revolution that's named after him, but the statue is just amazing. His family was there. Our staff was there. Truist came through as a corporate partner and sponsor, and it was just amazing, amazing, moving, emotional event, and I was proud to represent this board at that event. It was very moving. The community came out in force. So with that being said, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We adjourn.